Yo, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's really good? Welcome to What's Really Good, the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Matthew Lipsy. And today I have a special guest in here, the best-selling author and the founder of Dominica's Promise and initiatives Glow and Slap, Miss Dominica Sharda. How you doing, Miss Sharda?
I'm doing good. How you doing today?
It's all right. I'm all right. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this best-selling book you got. You know, I want to hear a little bit about it.
Yeah. So I released Convicted Pressure a couple years ago, and so the purpose behind this book was so that I could tell my story. Just about like how I grew up and just some of the things that I went through, because I know like basically I'm not the only person that have been through these things. And so I just wanted to share my story with the world. And so I did it in the book.
It's an autobiography.
It's an autobiography.
Yeah.
And so that was like the first half of my life, like up until the day I got out of prison. And my second book will be coming out soon, which is called Gracefully Redeemed. And it's kind of like my second part of my life, like up until now. Like, I think that people look at me like, oh, she just got herself together as soon as she got out of prison. But I went through a lot of stuff.
Right.
And I wasn't wearing it. I wasn't disclosing it. So to be able to put it in the book so that people can see, like, I just didn't have a magic wand and waved and got my life back together. I went through so much stuff.
Because you did, 15 years incarceration, right?
Yep, I did 15 years, yep.
Right. And you came home during the pandemic. At what point did you decide, well, I want to write a book and tell my story?
Well, I knew once I released the first book. Oh, you saying the first book?
The first book, Convicted Pressure. When did you decide, like, I want to tell my story, let me write a book about it?
Yeah, I was like telling like bits and pieces of my stories, like in programs when I was in prison or to different like volunteers that came in, and it was just drew so much interest. And plus I knew like when I first got incarcerated that like God had a purpose for me. You know, so I just knew like then I knew like, dang, I got to write a book about this journey. I didn't know how the journey was going to go. Right. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I didn't know any of the things that I was going to do, but I knew that I had to document it. So I started writing a book long time ago, ripped the pages up, started over. Didn't know if I wanted to start at the end of my incarceration or the beginning, but right. it just planned out the way that God had it for me. So I end up, like I said, writing it from the beginning to the end, until I got home. And then when I got home, I went through all this stuff. So I was like, man, I got to write a second half of this book.
Right. Yeah. Me, myself, I've been through the same situation. And I know it's kind of hard being released, coming home, starting over, trying to build your life, put the pieces back together, and especially with a child, you know what I mean? You have to build that relationship back up. So I know you ran into a lot of roadblocks and a lot of obstacles, but you kept your head up and you kept going, right?
Yep. Prayer, family support, the family that I did have supporting me, friends, the people that I built relationships with during my incarceration. Just staying connected definitely to God first and foremost. Like some of the things I went through privately, it was only me and God. So I was praying, I was crying, I was working overtime, working 3 jobs. I was writing down my goals, and I just was making out a plan. And I just knew, like, the direction I wanted. Like, some of the things and some of the places I've been, I couldn't imagine being in those places and going that places. Like, relationships is really better than money. So some of the places I've been, money couldn't get you in, But it's God's plan for my life, so.
Mm-hmm. You built a lot of relationships along the way. Yeah. You got out and you started over, and you're doing good for yourself. You're in a pretty good position right now. That's good. So you got the organization Dominica's Promise. You had that thought about when you got out.
So I did not even envision like having a nonprofit when I got home. I think that, like I said, God has his way of putting certain people in your life and certain people in your path that would change the trajectory of your whole entire life and right. even the path that you think you're going down. And so,
but you say it's been, 5 years now?
Yep, it's been 5 years. Well, I've been home 6, and I've had my nonprofit for about 5. But I started off wanting to just be a mentor in the community to young girls. So I came home with the idea of having Glow. And Glow was what I started it with another young lady in prison. And so I'm like, Glow is Girls Loving Our Wisdom. It's a good name. We're just going to keep it. Society is different than prison, but we just kept the same concept, mentoring young girls through trials and tribulations. And I ran into some people that had a bigger vision for me. And they were saying, like, we want to empower you to have your own nonprofit. We want to empower you to own your own intellectual property and stuff like that. And they definitely helped me get on a path to, owning my own stuff and being my own boss. And so I'm grateful for the people that I encountered on that path of just wanting to give back to the community, seeing the same need within these young girls that I needed. So that's kind of what the purpose was behind it. And it just birthed into a whole nonprofit with several different initiatives and just giving back to the community and supporting the community and helping the community.
Right. So you was born and raised here, but I see you stay in Detroit now. So it's not just a local thing. You really doing it.
It's cross community work that we do, but we had got trained nationally to do this community violence work that we're doing in the city of Kalamazoo. So it's national work that we're doing, and we're connecting on a national level. We're learning on a national level, and we're able to bring those things that we're learning back to our community. But back and forth between here and Detroit, learning a lot from their CVI groups over there, working hand in hand with some of their CVI groups have been some of the best experiences. So.
Right. So tell me some of the stuff that y'all do with these young ladies that y'all trying to help.
So one of my biggest things that I'm doing right now is a partnership with Old National Bank. And so we're just trying to set them on a path for financial literacy. Like, a lot of times we don't understand about credit, the importance of a bank account, secured cards, or anything at that young of an age. Right. And so we want to teach these girls at that age how to be financial, like how to be on a path to financial freedom. And none of us is there all the way, but just giving them the ideas of how to maintain credit and how to keep up with credit, how to have money, save money, what it looks like to make out a pie chart of all your bills and all of, your needs and wants, and then budgeting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one of my biggest initiatives that I'm doing in my partnership with Old National Bank, and I'm grateful that Old National Bank have drew interest in the young girls from our community. So
that's real big, because that's something that you can't go to public school and they teach you. You know what I mean? That's something that has to be taught at home or through an initiative like the one that you got going on. So that's real big. So the program, is it like an application process, or is the girls just come to you and be like, I need help, I want to be a part of this? Or
Yep. So basically we just kind of like seek out young girls in the community. The girls I've had now, I have about 10 to 12 of them. They kind of been consistent, but we've had girls come in, and the program may have not been a fit for them, or they just may have had other things going on, and we respect all that. We've had referrals come in from the police department, from the juvenile courts, just different things, and so we always touch bases with them. One of our barriers is transportation. So a lot of times we lose a lot of people along the way because we just don't have, the transportation to get everybody to group. And they're young. They don't have cars. So that's one of our barriers. But we're working through it, and I pick up a lot of
Maybe
them.
you should get with different organizations and have a fundraiser to come up with the money for a van or something for the organization.
We got good funders, and, just learning how to run a nonprofit and things like that. These are certain things we can incorporate into our budget. And so we're working all that out. And so hopefully by, mid next year or something, we have what we need to be able to run a quality program, for these young ladies, and just get them there so that they can be a part of the program.
Right now, are you working with the Urban Alliance? Is that you have a
Urban
space
Alliance
there?
is kind of like they're kind of like my mother foundation. So they really support me in a lot of things that I'm doing. I do have an office space there, and I have access to all their space, anything that they have in the building, anything that they have going on. The same partnerships that Urban Alliance have, I'm welcome to those partnerships. So it has been an honor to be a part of the Urban Alliance family and to be housed at Urban Alliance.
All right, okay. And that's just part of the initiative, right? You got the second part, which is SLAP, right?
Yeah, so we got a couple different programs, but these are some of our big initiatives. The SLAP program, we still run it out of Urban Alliance, and we connect with probation and parole. We connect with individuals coming home and try to offer them like resources, bus passes, connections to Michigan Works, just things that can help them start their life after prison, because the SLAP program is starting life after prison. And just giving them the support. Like when I came home, I had support, but I didn't have a support system, like a peer support system, like to where people right in the community knew the things that I was facing.
Right.
Like simple things like, using a computer or, cell phones had evolved so much. And just, I think that people didn't quite understand that I didn't kind of like grow up with that generation, so I kind of needed help. So we just wanted to give them support where they feel comfortable and that they can grow at their pace. They don't have to rush their transition.
So that's part of what the program is about, getting people to, adjust and
Yes.
reintegrate back into society after a prison sentence.
Yep.
That's good. A lot of men have programs like that, but a lot of women don't.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's real big of you to start that, knowing that you've been through it yourself and you know the obstacles that they face, that you try to make it easier for the next person to come after you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's real. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? And I'm quite sure, the people that you help, they love you and appreciate you too.
I get that a lot. But I love them too for just giving me the opportunity and trusting me to help guide them through their transition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's cool. So now you got these initiatives going on. It seems like you got your plate full. You're a busy one. How do you juggle all this? I mean, like,
just
stay busy.
No sleep. Foot on the gas. Just because I know, like, I can sit in my office and I can know, like, I've helped hundreds of people. So that's just rewarding to me. It's nothing personal. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't take nothing in this work personal besides my accountability to God. Right. Other than that, everything is, this is for the betterment of our community, the betterment of our young girls, the future of our children in this community, and the safety of our community. So that's what we're doing this work for.
Right. The same community that you grew up in, you gonna come and get out and you try to come and give back to it, you know what I mean? That's what's up, So
in the same community that my family members is growing up in, that my aunties and grandmothers have grew up in. So it's just like, it's a pleasure to be rooted in this community. It's an honor.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So now the new year is coming up and stuff. We got 2026 coming in, and do you got some stuff going on that you want to tell the people about?
So 2026 is really going to be big for all the projects that I'm involved in. As some people may know, some may not know, but we were just featured on American Gangster Trap Queens through my other. I'm a founder of a group called Felony Girls, which is female entrepreneurs launching opportunities never yielded. And this is to take the narrative about a felon, female in particular, and just change it. We all becoming bosses and CEOs, and we're doing really well for ourselves in life. And we want to extend that further beyond ourselves into other individuals. So we created this like group, like me and my friends founded this group. So we were on American Gangster. One of my friends, her episode premiered on there. And so next year, at the beginning of the year, we will be casting for our own reality show. Just to give individuals that have been down our road the opportunity to tell their stories, to use our platform, to, build their businesses or do whatever they got to do. Mm-hmm. And so we'll be doing that. So that's a really huge project. And then also our second annual Pistons game will be coming up. So the Pistons will be supporting our organization again, in particular our GLOW program, because we want to do a lot of things with our GLOW program. So we want to kind of generate, a fundraiser and funds for the program, so we can do college tours, so we can cross community, so we can create different chapters of GLOW across the communities and different things like that. So this year fundraiser would definitely be diverted towards our GLOW program and just getting funds so we can do some more things that we have planned for our girls.
Okay, that's good. Are you telling me some stuff that I didn't know? The Trap Queens and all that. Yeah. So the Pistons is pretty good. You seem like you on the road to success.
Yeah,
It's been a while and it's been hard work, but they don't know the backstory of where you come from and what you've been through and the hard work that it took to get to where you at right now. You know what I mean?
It's definitely been, and every day is a struggle. Like, I go through things every day. I'm just a fighter, so I'm just gonna push to the end. Like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna wear my feelings when it comes to the things I'm trying to build on my sleeve. Like, I'm not gonna put that burden on nobody else. So I just take it. Like I said, I'm in prayer a lot about a lot of things that I got going on, and if it's meant for me, I'm gonna get it. Like, can't nobody take nothing away from me that God has for me.
Absolutely.
So if it ain't meant for me, I gotta let it go. But if it is, I'm gonna go get it. So
and just keep pushing. Just keep pushing forward, moving forward, and keep doing what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't look back. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because I read in your book, right, that someone told you that there's 3 type of people that in prison, right? The ones that come out good, the ones that come out bad, or the ones that come out the same. And you came out with a plan, and you came out good. You know what I'm saying? So I love that about you. You didn't let that break you. You know what I mean? So you're a strong black woman.
I didn't want to go in. And I don't think, like, growing up, I was just this bad person and all that. But I just knew that I had some ways about myself that I needed to work on and change. So I didn't want to go in. I didn't want to come out the same person I went in. That was a 15-year time span. So if I would have came out a 17-year-old girl, immature.
You basically grew up in the system.
I basically grew up in the system. But gratefully, the people that I encountered, the lifers, the people that society throw completely away, these are the people that poured into me. So these people wake up with nothing to look forward to every single day, and they're in there pouring into people like myself that's coming out here. So not only did I not want to fail myself or my son, somebody that was looking up to, I didn't want to fail the people that actually took the time out to pour into me. Right. My family spending their time coming up there, seeing me and stuff like that. It's just like, man, who would I be to come home and not put my best foot forward?
And you had a little son, you know what I mean? You can't fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it anyways. Like, I can't lose. I gotta win. I got something I'm fighting for.
And my son is, like, very understanding. So he know, like, life ain't perfect. People make mistakes and stuff like that. But it's just like, I couldn't be the mother I am or the woman I am and trying to instill things in him and then just came out here still involved in the same foolery. Like, I just couldn't do that. So I just wanted to, like, really show who I am as a person. And plus, people gave me a second chance. So I have to take fully advantage of that second chance. And like I said, just put my best foot forward and just I ain't holding up. Like, I can't let up because I got to make the life for me that I want. I can't depend on nobody else to make the life for me or give the life to my son that I did not have.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? So you say you work with probation and parole, like the ones that's coming home, they already know about the SLAP program and how to reach out to you and be like, well, I know I can go here and get in touch with her to get the ball rolling to get my life back together.
Yeah, and so I'm the co-chair of Region 8 Offender Success Program. So I sit on a board with the people that's making these decisions about people's lives that's coming home. And it's important for me to be on that board because it's important for us individuals that's coming from that era, from that place, to have a voice at this table. And so, I'm pushing my program all through MDOC as much as I can. I even have curriculums for my program that we intend to put into to get in MDOC so that when people are on the inside, they can already start their reentry plan. Because I feel like reentry starts the day you go in. Mm-hmm. You start preparing for the day you come out. Absolutely. And so we working with all them. We working with all those entities, but also like MDOC, they do know about our program, and so they do refer. I get calls from probation and parole all the time, to help individuals out. So we do have a solid partnership with probation and parole.
That's sweet. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how busy a woman you was, you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't. So, I'm glad you came on the show and blessed me with your presence. I appreciate your time, Yeah,
no problem. I'm grateful that you thought about having me on your show and invited me out, and it's been a pleasure to be.
I mean, you got a lot of good stuff going on. I want to spread the word and let the people know, you know what I mean? If they need something, if they need in trouble, they need some help, readjusting, who they need to see. So they need to see who they need to see.
Yep, and even with our community violence work, just to bring awareness to that, You know, our idea is to create a safer community. So anything that's going on, like, we're not the police. We don't work for the police.
Right.
We work with them to help reduce violence, but we're not giving them no information that individuals are telling us, or if somebody need help. I don't report to the police. I may do an intake on you, but this intake does not go to the police. So
and that's part of the gun violence intervention.
and that's part of the community violence. So it's CVI. And we do have a gun violence initiative in Kalamazoo, and we work hand in hand with them. But community violence, it opens it up a little more, because we know, like, a small fight can lead to a shooting. So therefore, we want to get in front of those shootings. We want to get in front of these, fights and stuff that's going on, and offer our community resources so that they can have an easier life, so they can have a safer life, so they can, get the things that they need. Because a lot of times it's be hardship on people, and we want to try to help reduce some of that anxiety within people. Like I said, just creating a safer community for people.
Y'all got counselors and everything on hand to help them deal with
large
home life and all
range
that.
of individuals that's a part of this ecosystem. So when we encounter a person, we never know what a person need is going to be. And just in encountering a person, we assess that need, and that's what the intake process is. It's just me assessing your needs. And then when I pass that on to the individuals that, take the intakes, they deploy all the resources out that a person needs. You got to talk, though. You got to be open-minded. You got to tell these people what you need. I can't just meet a person or encounter a person and just know all their needs. Right. So, we got to be open and honest about the things that we need. And we just here to help. And if we don't have that resource ready, available, we going to create it, or we going to get you access to it.
Y'all going to help them figure it out.
We're going to help you figure it out. Just letting them know that they're not alone in this community.
Okay, then, all right. Like I say, I thank you for coming on. Let the people know where to find you, just in case, about this Glow and Snap and how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Dominica Sharda on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then I do have a Glow on Facebook. I think my page is Dominica Sims Glow, or Glow Dominica Sims, and on Instagram is Glow Dominica. So you can follow the Felony Girls on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and yeah. And y'all can pull up to Urban Alliance.
pull up on them at Urban Alliance.
And schedule a meeting.
All right, that's fine. That's cool. All right, thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. So that's it for this episode of What's Really Good, the podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Matthew Lipsy, man. Y'all, thanks for tuning in. Be prepared for the next episode. Y'all have a good night.